So, guys, it's mailbag time. Do this every so often. I'm going to answer your questions, or certainly I'm going to answer a few. I can't answer them all, but I love getting them. I love the feedback on the channel. I love all the questions. Never, like they say, when we were in school, long time ago, no question is dumb, right? There's no stupid questions, right? I agree. So let's go. Let's get started here. The first one is, how was it dealing with the studio? All right, when I sold my Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, it was great. There was no weirdness or conflict that I could remember. It was very professional. I got the call. I got the, stipulations, the details of what the contract would be. And then my contract was mailed out and I signed it. It was pretty good. It was pretty quick and pretty efficient, I should say. Yes. All right. And same topic, sort of, how quickly did you get a contract and how quickly were you paid? All right. Well, I guess it was about a week or less. Well, certainly the contract came within about 2 days or so, 2 or 3 days FedEx. And then the check came, I guess a couple days later. It was all within about a business week, certainly under 2 weeks, 2 business weeks. It was very fast, very efficient. So, next one. Did you go watch the filming of your TNG and DS9 episodes? No, I did not, and I regret it. Now, well, this is very uncommon. I mean, if there's writers out there who've written for Trek or other shows that sell scripts or, write an episode and get to watch it, I'm sure there are. Didn't happen to me, and it didn't happen to anyone else I know in terms of, getting that script sold and saying, hey, yeah, what, I never even asked, which I guess maybe I regret, but I know subsequently from everything I've heard, it's very closed, these sets. They want only the people that are really, really necessary. So, next one. Did you have any say in casting for the guest stars in your episodes? Wow, that would have been cool. I got lucky, I think. My Next Generation Homeward starred Paul Sorvino, one of my favorite actors before I wrote for Trek, and to have him there as Nikolai Rozhenko, Worf's foster brother, was really cool. And then in Profit Motive, it was Wallace Shawn, the Nagus, who of course had been in many episodes, and they brought him in. So no, I didn't get it. And there's no say in terms of that I'm aware of. Even as a producer, I think, sort of a Rick Berman, Michael Piller, Jerry Taylor, of course, they would have say in terms of the guest stars, and casting. But even they pretty much defer to casting agents, casting directors on the show. And then they approve it, of course. So, nope, I didn't get any say in that at all. All right. Do you like your TNG episode more or your Deep Space Nine episode more? All right. It is kind of a hard call in one way. I love them both, of course. But Next Gen is a little bit more special. I was just finishing up college. It was my first Hollywood sale. It was my first script sale, episode sale of anything in Hollywood, my first Hollywood sale. And, Next Generation, it's a jewel. I love Deep Space Nine as well. I love DS9 as well. But I think with DS9, of course, as we know, one of the great things about it is that it's so densely packed. It's so complex that pulling one episode out is a little bit hard. You've got to watch arcs of, a dozen episodes or so, certainly during the Dominion War, right? When the Dominion War hit, forget it. All man or all Cardassian and Klingon and Ferengi for themselves and human. It was just, it was great, but very complex. You had to keep watching. And finally, this is a really interesting one. This is about Enterprise. Enterprise uses Next Generation with Riker and Troy to spice up the last episode. These are the Voyagers. What's your take, your feelings on that? I'll tell you, it's been an evolution. I think you guys most of you would probably be of the same mind and agree. Enterprise, I just did a great rewatch, a whole rewatch on it. And I have so much more respect and like for it. Back in the day, I was going to pitch to it as well. A lot of things got in the way. It's a great show. It really is a worthy Star Trek. But these are the Voyagers. I know Scott Bakula, even Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis have all voiced their objections and their sort of regrets that what happened there was sort of, oh, and Brown and Braga, who wrote it, that it was an interesting idea. Certainly, it was a very could be fan favorite or even maybe Easter egg idea to put in next gen people and make the whole thing into this, this grand holodeck sort of fantasy of Rikers. So it hasn't aged well. I guess when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." You see Riker again. I was like, and then every time I watched it, and I've probably done at least 3 or 4 rewatches. Wow, yeah, it just really it doesn't age well. And I think, of course, it wasn't any of the actors' fault, and obviously Bran and Brick Berman, I think they pretty much are all on record too. They regret it. It's not a terrible episode for what it is, but for a finale and for Enterprise to have its own footprint and its own way of saying goodbye with its own finale, that's only fair. So just even if the episode, in terms of the details, the story of the episode, the actual story, even if that was better, I don't think it's really awful, but it's not great, not to spoil anything. I don't want to, but you're taking Next Generation, you're taking those, characters that are from another show, and you're sort of sharing the spotlight or stealing the spotlight for Enterprise. So I can't abide or endorse. I certainly can't. So what do you think? I'll answer. I do these every so often. My time writing for Star Trek, my freelance career, was started because of Next Generation. Thank you, Michael Piller. He instituted the script sale, without an agent, without any representation. You just sent in a script with a release form. So since that time, I've just been so thankful for Star Trek. I was a fan before. I was a fan during my selling, during my writing for Trek, and I'm still a fan. What do you guys think? Give us your thoughts and feedback. Give us your questions, too. Send in some more. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.
Where's the best sci-fi on YouTube?
On a sci-fi guy, of course.